come on in and you can let us know that you're here. So in the comments, say hi. We also thought it would be pretty cool if you commented where you're listening from or where you're tuning in from, because it's interesting to see we have listeners all across Canada, or viewers, I suppose. It is a video. So we do have viewers that tune in from across Canada. So it'd be nice to know where you're tuning in from. I know on the East Coast it gets pretty late, but we still do have some viewers that tune in for their bedtime show, I suppose. Drew is in the back, behind the camera.
I'm here.
So if you're new to the show and hear a man's voice, Muffin, that's Drew. Producer.
We got Isabel here.
Hey, Isabel.
She's a yoga instructor that we've been going to.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
What
else we got?
We got Jane. Jane's in here.
Hi, Mom.
Hilda's in here.
Hey, Hilda.
Jane's from Sussex, New Brunswick.
That's right. And it's just about bedtime for my mom, I think. So thanks for tuning in. I know it's late for my East Coast friends and family and viewers, but it's always nice for you guys to tune on in, even though it is getting a little close to bedtime.
I gotta mention, Isabel said that she's at the LA Kings hockey rink. She says,
that's cool.
Hi, Drew and Dorothy.
So nice of you to tune in.
Awesome. Is the game not very interesting?
I gotta say, Isabel, we have been missing Wednesday night yoga.
It's true.
We so much enjoyed Wednesday night yoga on the pier, and we have been missing it in October for sure.
Jane says it's past my bedtime. We got, hang tight, everyone. We'll be starting here shortly. We got Christina Thomas.
Hey, Tina.
She says hi to Drew and Dorothy. Sue is from High. It's from High.
Sue is from High.
Sue is, she said hi, and she's from Winfield, Alberta. All right, just wait. Louise from Calgary. Of course, Louise. Anyone else we got in here? I think I got everyone.
Everyone so far.
Or Marcel.
Hey, Marcel.
Marcel says hi from my kitchen table in St. John, New Brunswick.
Marcel, I talked to earlier, and he's marking papers right now. What was it, Marcel? Social papers or journal? Social journal. So I told Marcel to tune into the show so we could entertain him while he was marking his papers.
Isabel says it's hockey practice.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
Isabel's actually Canadian too.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to rock. Let's get the show started.
All right, let's get going. So tonight we are going to make pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. We're super excited about this. We actually put together 10 pumpkin recipes. The kitchen was a mess for a few days, and I was just covered in pumpkin and everything else. But we wanted to put together the little packet for you guys of some pumpkin recipes. So we have that available. Drew will put the link for you guys if you haven't downloaded that already. Drew will put the link in the comments for you so that you can enter your email address and we can send you a copy of our 10 pumpkin recipes. We named it 10 quick and healthy pumpkin recipes. So if you haven't downloaded that yet, Drew will put that in the comments for you to do that.
Coming up right now.
Something else that you'll want to do is you'll want to subscribe to the show. So subscribe to Cooking with Dorothy. That means that we will send you the recipe that we are doing beforehand. So we'll send that out to your email so you know what we are whipping up. So that if you'd like to cook along or bake along with us, you can. So you can grab your ingredients and cook along with us. I know some of you like to sit back, relax, watch the show, and then make your recipe later, which is perfectly fine as well. And by subscribing, we also send out the show after. So Drew downloads the show, or uploads the show, I think is the right word, right, Drew? Uploads the show, and he sends it out to our email list after. So if you miss a week, or miss a show, or want to go back and rewatch, you can do that if you're subscribed. We also have some draws, so sometimes we have some draws. So if you are subscribed to the show, we will enter your name into a draw when we have it. So we did a draw last week. We have the winner sitting right here on my piece of paper. We'll announce the winner shortly. So stick around, stay tuned to see if you're the lucky winner from last week. So Drew, what do you got?
I got a couple comments on here. We have Janice. She's on Instagram, and she says
Hey, Janice.
her name is Raw for the health of it. She says, "Hey, Drew and Dorothy," and she's on some crazy exercise. Janice. Can you help us out? She's been exercising for like so many days in a row.
Whoa.
Like an amazing amount.
How many days?
I don't even know the number. So those of you that are watching on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on Facebook Live as well, and we're sharing links and comments. So you can definitely watch it on Instagram, but it's a bit more, I suppose, visually friendly if you head over to facebook.com/trueformlife.
All right.
I'm
Can
good.
you get going with the cookies?
Let's do it.
So here they are. Here's the finished product. I'll show you that first. So these are what they're going to look like at the end. Pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. One of Drew's favorites. Or actually, I do think it is your favorite, isn't it, Drew?
Those are amazing. You guys are going to be blown away by these.
That's right. So before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about the ingredients we've got here. I'm going to highlight a few ingredients that we have. I made myself a few notes because I always forget to tell you guys things. And we end the show, and I say to Drew, I forgot to tell them this, or I forgot to tell them that. And Drew said, well, why don't you make yourself a little bits of notes, and then you won't forget. So that's what I did tonight. I made myself some notes so that I won't forget to share things with you. So here we go with a little ingredient talk. And please, if you have questions, comment in the comment section your questions, because we love to hear from you, and we want this to be an interactive show so you can get answers right away. And don't be shy. We love questions coming in. And a lot of times when you have a question, somebody else can have the same question, so it benefits the whole group that's watching. So please comment, send in your questions. Drew's here behind the camera to help. So thanks, Drew, for being our cameraman.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So already in the bowl here, we have CTP. And CTP is going to be instead of our flour. So there's no flour in this recipe, no conventional flour at all. Complete Truth Protein, if you're not familiar, is a blend of quinoa and hemp hearts. So we blend those two together into a flour. So this is our product. Complete Truth Protein is we designed this product. And it's vegan, it's dairy-free, soy-free, GMO-free, gluten-free is our biggest one that we see users or clients using it because of the gluten-free aspect, but tons of health benefits, and it works so nicely in baking. It rises nicely, it tastes nice, it's nice and moist. So this bag here, the gray and black with the gray and black label, the black bag, is for baking. So you can replace it 1-to-1 in any recipe. So if you have a favorite recipe that calls for 1 cup of flour, you could replace it with Complete Truth Protein for a cup. So a cup for a cup. And there's just so many health benefits to using Complete Truth Protein. It has healthy fats, complex carbs. So it really is going to help fuel you throughout the day and keep you fuller longer, keep you energized, and help with digestion. A lot of time our baked goods, when using conventional flours and refined sugar and other dairy products, it causes havoc on our digestion system, and really it causes discomfort there. By using Complete Truth Protein, that's going to help you digest. Anything else you want to add, Drew?
No, Jen said she's been working out for 752 days straight.
Oh my gosh! When Drew said a lot of days, I wasn't thinking like in the hundreds, Janice. I was thinking, I don't know, not hundreds, like 30s, 40s, 50s, 700. That's amazing. Congrats. Awesome work.
That's all we got. We got Greg Keith Sr. He says he's under the blankets, nappy jammy time in Sussex, New Brunswick.
Thanks for tuning in, Dad. Thanks for making us your bedtime show. The next ingredient I want to talk about was stevia. We're using stevia tonight as our sweetener. This is new for us because a lot of our recipes are maple syrup and honey. So a lot of times we use liquid sweeteners. But Drew had Tom on his show, Tom
King,
on his show not too long ago, Exploring Mind and Body. Drew put a link in there for Exploring Mind and Body, maybe to Tom's show or something, Exploring Mind and Body. That's Drew's radio show. and he interviews guests from all over the world, really, on different health and fitness related topics. And Tom was on the show, and he was telling us or explaining about keto, but he also has a stevia business. Anyway, long story short, Tom sent us some stevia, and I tried stevia baking in the past and didn't quite enjoy it, but it was the green leafy powder. This is stevia's a bit different, and I tried Tom's stevia in the baking, and it turned out so well. So I've been experimenting a little bit with the stevia as well. So that's what we're going to use as our sweetener tonight. Stevia is a plant-based sweetener, so all natural, but it is really sweet. It's about 2 times sweeter than conventional sugar. So you'll want to use less stevia if you're replacing. I would suggest half. So if your conventional recipe called for a cup of sugar, I would use half of stevia. Also, if you enjoy your baking a bit moist, I would suggest taking it out a bit early from the oven than the suggested baking time. If you want it a little bit moist, because stevia tends to dry it up a little bit more. But you can prevent that by just taking it out a little bit early. I've already adjusted the baking time for the pumpkin cookies, so they're super moist. You won't have to adjust it on that. But if you are using a conventional recipe, that's something you'll want to watch out for. Coconut oil we're using tonight instead of butter. A lot of times we use applesauce instead of butter, but tonight we're going to use some coconut oil. So I'm switching things up, trying new things in our recipes. And coconut oil is great because you can replace 1-to-1 with butter or oil in any recipe. So if your recipe called for a cup of butter, your conventional baking recipe, you can put 1 cup of coconut oil in there. It's a pretty easy conversion that way. The last thing I wanted to talk about was pumpkin. So I have a couple cans of pumpkin here. And pumpkin, you want to find pumpkin puree as opposed to pumpkin pie filling. So make sure that if you're buying canned pumpkin, to make sure there's one ingredient on the ingredient list that says pumpkin. Pumpkin pie filling has all kinds of other ingredients in it, sugar being one of the main ones, which we want to stay away from. But it is pumpkin season, so you could also pick up some of your own pumpkins or a pumpkin, roast it in the oven. So we would suggest chopping it up and roasting it in the oven and then mashing it, or we actually blend ours in our blender to get our own pumpkin puree. So it depends how, I guess, in depth using your own pumpkin would be the best, but there's nothing wrong with using canned pumpkin either. And pumpkin's great, and I often wonder sometimes why we don't eat it all year long, because it is high in vitamins, and vitamin A especially, high in fiber, great for digestion, antioxidants. It's really good for the skin too. It has so many health benefits to eating pumpkins. So great for heart health. So there's a wide variety of different health benefits to pumpkin. So really, we call it pumpkin season, but we could probably be eating it all year round for health benefits. You got anything back there, Drew?
I am enjoying the show. We have Hilda that says, where can you get Tom Stevia?
I don't know.
That's a great question. You can go to his website's called Guy Gone Keto. I'll put that in the comments. Guy Gone Keto. And Tom's a great guy. We're going to do more work with him here in the future. But if you want to check him out, that's his website. It's probably guygoneketo.com. And you can find it there. As far as we know, we haven't purchased any. Tom was super cool. He gave us a giant box of giveaway stuff. So we haven't purchased it yet, but it's something that we'll definitely look forward to in the future. So check out guygoneketo.com.
Yeah, like Drew said, Tom is an awesome guy. So we really enjoy getting to know him more and is supporting his products. So we are enjoying our stevia from Tom. Let's get this recipe rocking, and I guess we just got to jump in there. So already in my bowl here, I have the Complete Truth protein. I have salt, Himalayan salt. You want to stay away from the refined table salt. And then I have our baking soda, baking powder. So 1.5 teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1.5 cups CTP. And I just put a little sprinkle of salt. If you need a measurement, I would gauge about half a teaspoon on that one. So I'm just going to mix those up together and get all the clumpies out. How do you like that word? Clumpies. All the chunks out. And next I'm going to add the pumpkin pie spice. So the pumpkin pie spice is just a blend of different spices. So there's cinnamon, cloves, ginger, and nutmeg in pumpkin pie spice. If you can't find pumpkin pie spice, you can just make your own by adding those spices together. So cinnamon, clove, ginger, and nutmeg. So I'm going to open this up. It can be a little bit trickier to find pumpkin pie spice, especially all year round. So if you want to do a little blend of your own, those are the 4 spices. So cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and ginger. Oh, I found another chunky.
You guys are doing awesome with those hearts. They are flying in. You're almost at 2,000 already.
That's awesome. Thank you, you guys. So the recipe does call for 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, but Drew and I like ours really spicy. So I'm going to double that. But I would suggest starting off with 1 teaspoon and seeing how you enjoy it at that spice level. And then add more in your next batch if you want to do that. So I'm just going to blend that up in there.
Just want to mention here that I should have mentioned before that that's probably not the website I directed you to for stevia products. So I put the link down here. That's Tom's other company. So his main company is called Icon Foods, and it's Icon Foods, and then it's Stevia Ingredients. So I just dropped the link in there, so you guys can click on that if you want more details on their Facebook page.
Yeah, definitely check out his show too. Guy Gone Keto, Exploring Mind and Body. It was a great interview. Oh, I found another chunk. So I'm just using the fork here to break up all of the chunks, the spices and the baking soda and baking powder chunks. CTP doesn't really have too many chunks. It's pretty fine. If you haven't used CTP yet and you want to get your hands on some CTP, we'd love to help you out. So you can contact us and we can help you. The gray and black bag is for baking, as mentioned previously. We also have a green bag for smoothies. So you can also use CTP in smoothies to help energize your day. They'll also have the same health benefits, aiding in digestion and improving energy levels. So we ship anywhere. So we can ship right to your door. If you're locally in the Olds area, we will also deliver. So you can contact us. We'd be happy to set you up with some CTP.
Trudy just popped in here.
Hey Trudy, thanks for joining us.
Why don't you ask them their favorite pumpkin? What's the favorite way to eat pumpkin?
Oh, that'd be great to know. So you just in the comments, you can write your favorite way to eat pumpkin. If you like it roasted with other vegetables, maybe. If you even your favorite pumpkin baking recipe, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin muffins, whatever. Pumpkin tea, pumpkin spice tea, maybe. It's one of our favorites too. So in the comments, let us know your favorite way to eat pumpkin. And you know what else would be cool is to know who grows their own pumpkins. So if you grow your own pumpkins, let us know. One of our favorite traditions, I suppose, Drew and I, is going and picking out our own pumpkins and carving. We love to do that. We do that every year. So we're totally looking forward to that.
Trudy said, pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
She said, or pumpkin loaf.
Oh. Trudy, have you tried the Complete Truth Protein Pumpkin Bread? Oh my, yum. Is that the one you're referring to, Trudy? Okay, next I'm going to throw in, actually before the chocolate chips, I'm going to throw in the stevia. This is a half a cup of stevia. Oh, it kind of stuck to the bowl a little bit.
And so there might be some people that haven't tried stevia or might be using a liquid. What if they're doing that? How much liquid would they use?
A liquid sweetener? If you're using a liquid sweetener, I would cut it in half. So this is half a cup of stevia. So if you're using a liquid sweetener, I'd use a quarter of a cup. Because it changes the consistency of the dough. It is already a pretty moist batter. So you'll want to be careful not to use too much if you're using a liquid sweetener.
And then I know Janice is watching here, and she's vegan. Is this recipe 100% vegan?
I would say so. There's no there's no dairy. Right? We have coconut oil.
No eggs.
No eggs. You'll just want to watch your chocolate chips. Make sure your chocolate chips are vegan chocolate chips, which we always buy. But I'm sure you're used to that, Janice.
Marcel says pumpkin pie. And then
Marcel, did you make pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving? I saw your tweets on Facebook.
Sue says pumpkin cheesecake, pumpkin pie, made with my pumpkins.
Sue, you grow your own pumpkins? Nice. Maybe we'll have to go to your pumpkin patch. Get our jack-o'-lanterns.
Louise says pumpkin loaf, pumpkin pie.
Nice. What's your favorite, Drew?
Oh, we put me on the spot. These cookies are amazing. I enjoy pumpkin pie, but our opt-in list that you made is unreal. So I pick anything from there. Pumpkin protein balls or pumpkin cookies would be my favorite.
Yeah, this is some recipes that will come throughout our 6 weeks of pumpkin here, our 6 shows of pumpkin. Will come from that list of recipes that Drew put the link for, the 10 quick, healthy pumpkin recipes. So Drew was in heaven because for 2 full days I was just baking and making recipes, and he got to try everything. So I would make, for example, the cookies and ask him, "Is it sweet enough? Does it need more spice? Is it this? Is it that?" And he would tell me different adjustments, and I'd make another batch. And then I'd move on. When that one was perfect, I would move on to muffins. So we had all of this baking, and Drew just loved it.
It's amazing. I'm gonna put the link in the comments again. So if you haven't subscribed, you can click the button, enter in your email address. We'll email it right to your inbox. And then Tina says, I like to bake a pumpkin in the oven and scoop it out in ghee and add ghee and Himalayan salt.
Oh, I got excited, Tina, because we like to do that with the little sugar pumpkins. So we take the little sugar pumpkins and we just put them in the oven whole. So we just put them in whole, and then once they're roasted and cooked through, we take the top off, scoop out the seeds, and do the same, but we put coconut oil and Himalayan salt in ours, and just eat it like a bowl. A pumpkin bowl.
We have, Sue said, I grow the sugar pumpkins and some jack-o'-lanterns.
Nice. Yeah, the sugar pumpkins are so good.
And then we had Marcel says, I bought my pie from the superstore. Everything else for Thanksgiving was homemade legit.
Yeah, I saw them. Marcel was like, woo, way to go. I just realized I didn't preheat the oven, so I'm going to do that now. So you'll just want to preheat your oven to 350 for these cookies. Oh, we might have a pan in the oven, do we?
I definitely store pans in the oven.
Drew stores pans in the oven. It's kind of his thing. So I'll preheat the oven for something and then go to put my baking in, and there'll be a hot pan in there. So I will remove the pan. I guess I didn't need an oven mitt because it was cold. I'll be needing that later.
We got Kayla jumped in here. She says, pumpkin.
Hey, Kayla, thanks for joining us. Okay, let's get going here on this recipe. Next, I'm going to throw in the chocolate chips. This is a quarter cup of chocolate chips, which is plenty of chocolate chips. But if you do want to add a bit more, you could add more chocolate chips. I wouldn't go over a half a cup of chocolate chips. Quarter cup, you'll find is plenty. We like the mini chocolate chips because then a quarter cup seems to go a little bit further, right? Because they're mini, you get a few more. So I'm just going to stir those around. Just watch the ingredient list on your chocolate chips. You'll want to make sure they're clean ingredients. A lot of times on the chocolate chip label, the first ingredient is sugar. So we'll want to try and stay away from those. One brand that we like is called Enjoy Life. They don't have any refined sugar, any dairy, any soy in their chocolate chips. So that's a brand that we would recommend, a cleaner brand of chocolate chips. They are a bit more expensive, but that is why you'll want to use less as well, so they last a bit longer. In addition to not needing as many. So I'm just going to show you a trick here with the coconut oil that I'm going to do next here. So I'm going to spoon out the coconut oil, just seeing if I remembered everything. This is a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put that in right into the same bowl. And a little trick with using coconut oil is you want it to be a creamy consistency. You don't want it to be hard, and you don't want it to be melting. So you just want it a nice creamy consistency. And whatever you're using with the coconut oil in your recipe, you want it to be warm. Because if it's cold, it's going to make the coconut oil harden into the recipe. So for example, you wouldn't want your pumpkin to be cold and then put it in with the coconut oil because the coconut oil is going to harden. Or your milk. There's no milk in this recipe, but if you're using almond milk, you'd want your almond milk to be at room temperature, because if you put the almond milk in with the coconut oil, it's going to harden into chunks. So whatever you're using, make sure it's at room temperature. And I'm going to use my fork for this one. Slippery. And I'm just going to cream in the coconut oil, much like you would do if you were using butter in a conventional recipe. You're just going to use your fork and cream that together. I think that's the right term.
Cream it together.
Cream it. Just like, shortbread, like traditional shortbread cookies at Christmas.
Just need to plug the phone in, those of you watching on Instagram. That's why it's looking like an earthquake. There we go. You have any questions for them?
I don't know. You're the questions guy. Do you know Drew asks like a really large amount of questions in a day?
An obscene amount of questions? What do you mean in the day?
Well, you asked a lot of questions.
I think questions get you closer to your answer.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying. He's a question guy. So you can see that is really crumbly. And, see, that's me. That's how I bake. I just want to save the chocolate chip. So next we're going to put in the pumpkin. So we need 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin. So this is my 1/4 of a cup. And add that one first. I wasn't sure if I need another can, so I did open another can.
Just means you have to bake more cookies.
Maybe we should have you bake more cookies.
I said I would do a guest appearance on like a kombucha show or something.
Well, here's a question.
I think I should run the...
Here's a question. I just slopped again. Here's a question for you. What do you want to see Drew bake?
Why do I have to bake?
Because it's funny.
Okay, I should run the show. I'll wear your apron.
Oh, you're on.
I'll do the show and you'll do the comments back here.
Okay, I can do that.
What do you guys think about that? Would that be fun?
I think it would be hilarious. I would be asking Drew a bunch of questions about that stuff, and you would be asking me a bunch of baking questions. It'd be funny. So, comment in the comments. Oh, darn it. I told you I was messy. That is the part of the fun of it. It's getting messy. Could you imagine me? This is the mess of one recipe. Could you imagine the mess of me after 10 recipes?
Dorothy, didn't you, in the earlier of these shows, didn't you tell me that you were clean? Remember you tried to convince me that you were clean?
No.
You did. Does anyone else? I know there's some of you in here that may have remembered that watched those shows. That Dorothy was trying to tell me that she was not a messy baker.
It's my thing. It's more fun that way.
So we got Chantel said, CTP pancakes. Oh, do you know that I invented the baking the pancakes, Chantel?
Oh, I'm going to just add 1 teaspoon of vanilla here before I mix it up. Whoop.
Louise says, haha. Yes, need to see Drew cook. All right, Louise, what do you...
I think, though, I like your idea, Chantal, with the pancakes, but it's kind of Drew's specialty. I think that we should make him make something a little more difficult. Does that mean?
Yeah. What do you want to see me bake, Louise? Louise says, well, it's a tiny... Trudy says, well, it's a tiny mess.
Yeah, see? Trudy's on my side, Drew. It's a tiny mess.
You know, you should be here and see her mess. I'm just kidding. I don't mind. That's just how Dorothy rolls. We have 3,600 hearts.
Woohoo! Thank you, guys.
We're rocking. Those hearts are just flying in all day. And we have Jessica. She says, hello. Always love the sound effects Dorothy makes.
Thanks, Jessica.
I don't even notice their sound effects anymore.
Not anymore.
It's just Dorothy.
Although, you may notice sometimes on our live shows on Friday morning, on our Q&A shows, that sometimes Drew and I will be sitting there and Drew will do a... Is that how you do it, Drew? Like,
I'll move my ear away from your
very
mouth.
quickly. Because he thinks I'm too loud sometimes.
Sometimes Dorothy has no volume control. That's the problem.
No volume control and no speeds.
That's right. It's like one volume all the time, and I swear I've lost hearing in one of my ears already.
Okay, let me tell you a little story. This is going to be fun.
Great.
Because I have to wash my spoon that I dropped here. Okay, here's a story about this week that just happened. We were late for something. We were going to the Dodgers game. And we were late for the bus to get on the Dodgers game. And Drew is walking like way in front of me. And he looks behind me and he's like, come on. I'm like, I'm going as fast as I can. He's like, speed up. I said, there are no speeds. This is my speed. So that is my snurtleness. There's just one speed.
That's why I call Dorothy a snurtle.
And the same goes, what were we just talking about? Oh, the same goes for my volume control. There are no volumes.
It's always set on loud. Sue says, Drew does not measure, so it'll be interesting. That's a very good point, too. I am the worst. That's why I can't bake. I can make stir fries. I can cook on the stove, on the barbecue all day because I make up my own creations. But when it's baking, you have to follow measurements and rules, and it's not.
I don't know how good I am at that.
You're pretty structured.
No, but I mean, I like to make up my own measurements with baking a lot of times.
Louise says, I've never heard Dorothy say she wasn't a neat cook. I seem to recall some live shows on D&D where she admits to being messy. No, Louise! You're supposed to be on my side. That sounded like a whole lot of agreeing with Dorothy, Louise. You agreed with her 3 times in one sentence.
Yeah! That's right, Louise!
Oh, man.
Being messy is fun. Okay. Let's get into the cookie ball making. So this batter is going to be a little bit, well, it is moister, if moister is a word.
Moister is definitely not a word.
It is moister than traditional cookie. Drew's just having a laughing fit back there. But it is moister than traditional cookie dough. So just keep that in mind. That don't freak out when it is pretty moist, because that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'm going to show you. Now, somehow our tablespoon, like our measuring spoon of the tablespoon, disappeared. We have no idea where it is. Not sure. So I don't have my proper measurement. I'm just going to use this spoon here. But we want to use a heaping, it's going to look like quite a big ball. So we want to use a heaping tablespoon. And the reason we want them to be quite big is because we're not using traditional flour, there's no rising agent or nothing to expand the cookie. So the size or the ball is going to be the size of your cookie once it's done. So it doesn't really, it won't rise. I might be making these too big, but if I make them too big, then we can adjust. So I'll make this this recipe will make 12 cookies altogether. So if you want to make a bigger batch, just double everything. Double the recipe to have 24. We always suggest, actually, it's a good idea to make double batches because then you can take half and freeze it or save some for later, like put some in the fridge. Or sometimes, if you have a family, 12 cookies might not last. Or if you have a Drew in your house.
What are you talking about? Jane says...
What are you talking about? What happened to all the other cookies, Drew?
Those were good cookies. And I'll eat them guilt-free, too, because they're all clean ingredients.
That's right. What did Jane say?
Jane says it's the Keith blood, Dorothy.
Of the messiness?
I think so.
Yeah. I think, doesn't Dad say that about you, Mom? That you're messy in the kitchen?
Louise says maybe Drew can make berry muffins.
Okay.
I don't want to make muffins.
It's not your choice. It's your choice.
Your choice. Trudy says, or quadruple batch.
Oh, yes, Trudy. You make some big batches, don't you? How many protein balls did you make that one time, Trudy? A lot, I remember. But this guy now looks a little bit small. I'm going to add a little bit to him.
We're over 4,000 hearts.
Woohoo!
You guys are maniacs. It's a heart festivity. It's like Valentine's Day.
It's a heart festivity.
Are you guys doing anything for Halloween? Let us know.
Loves Halloween.
I love Halloween. It's so much fun. I'm going to go to this Queen Mary haunted ship soon.
And I'm not sure if I'm going yet. I have to look it up a little bit more. I like Halloween. I like the pumpkins. That's one of my favorite things. I like the kids coming to the door, the trick-or-treating. Like, I love all of that, like, fun stuff. When I was teaching, I loved, like, I loved doing, like, the crafts with the kids, all of that fun fall stuff. But it's the scary parts I don't like. I get the nightmares.
I get the nightmares.
Yeah, don't I, Drew, when I watch scary stuff?
You were good. We went to Screamfest in Calgary last year.
That was fun.
That was fun. You didn't get nightmares then.
No.
Trudy says she made 72 protein.
Oh, I knew it was a lot!
And then we have Jane said, I meant the no volume.
Oh, the no volume! It's a Keith thing. That's for sure.
Jessica says my birthday is the 28th, so I'm hosting a murder mystery party for Halloween.
That is cool.
What time should I be there, Jessica? Thank you for the invite.
But if you're inviting Drew, you should know he's a sore loser.
I don't lose, though.
He's very competitive. Oh, just ask my mom what happened at Dutch Flitz at Christmas time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We beat you!
No, you didn't.
Oh, did we beat Drew at Dutch Flitz at Christmas time? We did.
Trudy says, since having kids, I don't do scary.
Mm.
Sorry to hear that, Trudy.
I don't do scary very well either.
Dorothy's not a really scary person. I like scary movies, haunted houses, scary costumes. I love it all.
Okay. Any more questions? Anything else? I'm going to just show you guys how to flatten the cookies because it's not like traditional cookie dough. If we leave it in a ball, it's going to melt down and go in a perfect circle. We have to squish them and shape them to the size that we want so that they turn out looking like cookies. If we left them in these balls, we're going to cook in these balls. So you have to smoosh them down. You could use a fork, but you will have the little tracks of the fork in your cookies, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But if you want smoother looking cookies like this, just use use a spoon. So we're just gonna flatten them down, and I just use my fingers to shape them in whatever shape that, like how they are, or whatever form they are when you smoosh them. That's how they'll come out. They might expand a little bit in the oven, but not very much because there's no gluten. There's nothing. I mean, we did put some baking powder and some baking soda in there, so that will help a little bit. But it's really the gluten in the cookies that forms like the rising action. So you'll just want to take an extra step and form them.
I got a couple of questions here that I want to read out. We got one that came in on Facebook. Sorry, Janice, because we usually catch it on our program here behind the scenes, but she just mentioned it anyways. But she says, "Can you eat the cookies raw, or do you need to bake them?"
Oh, I don't like. It would be like eating cookie dough, the consistency, but I don't think there would be any problem eating it raw. But it would be like eating cookie dough, which is fine. I like eating cookie dough, but we don't have any eggs in there. There's just coconut oil, complete with protein, chocolate chips, pumpkin. So I don't see a big problem with eating them raw.
Do we have a recipe for the pumpkin protein balls?
We do in the PDF.
Okay.
It's not a blog post yet, but if you downloaded, or how do I say that properly, Drew? If you clicked on the link for the 10 quick and healthy pumpkin recipes and sent us your email address, you'll get that in the booklet of the 10 recipes, the pumpkin protein balls. They're delicious. And that one is really nice raw, Janice, because they actually harden up a bit like a protein ball. These ones raw would be mush. Unless you froze them, that would be an idea too, is to freeze them.
So in the comments, I'm going to put our regular protein ball recipe, Janice. And then I'm going to put our opt-in as well, our 10 pumpkin recipes. Janice is on our list, one of them, our main list.
Okay.
So, and then we have a bunch of questions here, so if you don't mind, I will pull them on.
Shoot as in shoot the questions to me, not like shoot as in darn it.
Louise says the Queen Mary is haunted. Good Halloween thing to do. Well, actually, they dress. I've heard it's haunted, Louise, but they actually make it haunted. Like there's paid actors, and they It's kind of crazy.
There is what do you call them? Zombies.
Zombies,
Did I see zombies?
They chase you, yeah.
And zombies chasing me is not my idea of fun, really. There was this.
You're Halloween Scrooge.
No, I'm not. I just am scared. I mean, that's not fun for anybody. But what was I going to say? Oh, there used to be these 5K runs. There probably still are. Where the Marcel, you did it. I think the zombie run, where the zombies chase you around and try to take your flags, and I'm like, I am not doing that. Zombie run.
Jessica says it's so cool. She's talking about her murder mystery. Identities are given out and you have to dress the part. No one knows who the murderer is until the party starts.
Oh.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I've never done one of those. I'd really like to.
No, me neither.
Jessica says, I love Halloween. We do scary, even with small kids. Nightmares and all.
Nightmares and all?
I'm just kidding. Louise says she uses the bottom of a glass to flatten.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. And then it would be less time consuming too. I like that idea, Louise. Thanks for sharing.
Katie popped in here.
Hey, Katie.
And then Louise says no eggs, so raw should be fine.
Hey, Drew, did you send Katie that picture?
I did.
Katie, did you get it?
You know what? Since you guys
picture?
are with us, what do you think about? This is crazy off topic, but what do you think about petting zoos?
That is crazy off topic. You comment in the comments about the petting zoo, and we'll share the story with you in a minute. But the last step, our cookies here are all ready to go in the oven. So the last step is just to throw them in the oven about 10 to 12 minutes. So, Drew, could you set a timer for us? I always have to set a timer because I forget.
10, 12. Alexa, set a 12-minute timer.
12 minutes. Just in case we don't want to forget about those. So, petting zoos. Drew, should we start, or it's kind of your thing. Maybe you should talk about it.
Okay, just Katie says, ha, ha, ha. Marcel says, zombie runs are a great motivator to move fast.
Oh, that's true, Marcel. I'd be crying.
We have 5,000 hearts.
That's awesome, you guys. Thank you.
Okay, I'll tell you real quick that, Jessica says I love petting zoos. We have them all. We have them all the time at Sylvan Lake. Okay, so for me, petting zoos, I think they're great for kids.
Just a second. I want to give you guys a little background. So we went to the fair this weekend. There was a fair here in one of the beach towns. So we went to the fair with some friends, and they have a little girl, and it was so much fun. There was games and there was bouncy houses, and it was a lot of fun. But they also had animals there. So I think she's 2. So she rode the little pony, miniature ponies, and then while she was riding the pony, Drew and I went over and checked out this petting zoo, and it was super cool to see all the animals. They had goats and rabbits and this little tiny pig, and what else, Drew? They had different kinds of birds. But I think this is where you want to jump in, Drew.
Well, you pretty much told the story.
Jump in, Drew.
Well, it was just like the animals are like trying to get away from the kids, like fearing for their lives, and the kids, like the parents weren't really watching them. The kids are like chasing their little rabbits, and they're like they have signs like "Don't pick them up, don't chase." But of course, the kids weren't really paying attention, and the kids were like harassing the animals, and I felt really bad for them. So maybe Katie, you could help me out here a bit. Maybe I don't know if do they like that? They didn't seem to like it very often. And then there's this goat that like rammed a couple kids, and I like goats sound like they're like not very. Well, how would you say tempered? Like they sound like could be grumpy sometimes. From the stories I heard, I don't know. But this goat was like ramming some of the kids, and I was like, well, clearly the goat is like super uncomfortable, and the parents should like move the kids or something. I don't know, something should be done, but it almost seemed like there's no supervision. So
it was kind of like a free for all, and the animals were like scared and running away. Like the one of the kids was picking up the rabbit like really like, how do you describe it, Drew?
Roughly.
Rough. And we're like, oh my gosh, we want to save the animals. But the goat that Drew's talking about wasn't a big goat. It was like a little baby goat with like his horns weren't that big. But he wasn't happy at all. And he wasn't ramming the kids really hard. But he was using his horns to...
He's like bumping them. He knocked a couple kids over.
He knocked a couple little kids over.
And it was like no one could see what was going on. It was like, why isn't there some kind of authority figure putting some restraints on the kids and the animals?
I don't know what the solution would be, and maybe it was just that particular petting zoo. But you know what's interesting too is a lot of times I don't really. Maybe you guys can help me out, but I think the petting zoo is usually one type of animal, isn't it? Like you go in and you see the goats, or you go in and you see the pigs, or the baby cows, or whatever it is. But this petting zoo was a bunch of different animals, all in the same fence, like just running around. And
well, there's this rabbit ran by this like duck-looking thing. It wasn't a duck, and the duck like bit the rabbit or the bunny that was running by.
Everyone was like animal-wise, everyone was stressed and like not happy. So it was just, we didn't actually go in. We were standing on the other side of the fence, just looking at all the animals and things, because there was a lineup to get in or whatever. But we were kind of stepped back and looking in. Maybe we got a different perspective. I don't know.
Katie says grumpy goats sounds right.
Grumpy goats.
And then Louise says, I like petting zoos when my kids were little. We went to Animal Kingdom in Disney World.
Oh,
it was great.
Never been to that one.
And then Katie says, if you lower your head, it indicates that you want to fight.
Oh! Maybe that's what was wrong.
No, I think if the goat lowers its head, it wants to fight. Not the kids.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyways, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a crazy world. We got Brandy popped in here. Brandy, she doesn't ride goats, but she rides horses.
She doesn't ride goats.
Brandy, you tuned in like right in the middle of a crazy conversation.
About petting zoos.
We got 50 angry faces. I wonder who that is. Who's angry at us?
Somebody doesn't like the petting zoo talk?
I don't know. Trudy says you need to respect animals.
Mm.
And then we got Louise here. She says that parents need to take more responsibility for their kids when there's a petting zoo. And yes, someone should be there asking parents to be responsible. If not, they should be asked to leave. Yeah, I would agree, Louise.
Protect them. Protect the animals.
Yep. What else we got?
Well, the cookies are in there baking. We're probably going to wrap it up, so you might not see me take the cookies out of the oven. But these are the ones I made this afternoon, so you can see that the shape that we form them in. That's how they come out. So, quick and easy recipe, not too many ingredients, and tons of health benefits to this one as well. No refined sugar, no dairy, no, what else, Drew? It's just good, clean ingredients. So you can actually use this as a fueling snack to help fuel your body to gain energy. And you know what? Sometimes we even eat cookies in the morning. So
morning snack.
For a morning snack. Usually not ones that have chocolate chips in them, but I mean, with these types of snacks, you don't have to feel guilty that you're eating something wrong or eating something that's not healthy. I shouldn't say wrong. You don't have to feel guilty about eating something that's unhealthy. You can feel good about what you're eating, and it's actually going to improve your health. It's going to help digestion, help you gain energy, and with the Complete Truth protein, it's going to help you give the essential nutrients you need from a meal. So it's like a win-win situation.
Katie says, if you or any animal / human tip your head to a goat, you're telling them that you're ready for battle.
See? I thought that's what you meant, Katie. All right, should we wrap it up, Drew?
Yeah, we should wrap it up. I didn't even. We're having so much fun. I didn't even know this is almost an hour.
If we want to respect your time, we know that we, like Drew said, it's almost been an hour, so we know that you guys have things going on. But we so much appreciate you guys tuning in. Lots of you tune in every week, which we appreciate so much. We're going to continue on with our pumpkin series for the next 5 episodes, so 6 episodes altogether. Check out our newly put together PDF, 10 quick and healthy pumpkin recipes. We'll be pulling recipes from there throughout the next few weeks for our pumpkin recipe series of Cooking with Dorothy. So we got some really great pumpkin recipes coming at you. Our YouTube show, Day in the Life of D&D, is rocking. What episode was it, Drew, this week?
12, I think.
Episode 12 already, and it was our keto episode that we posted on Saturday, so that's the brand new episode. So if you can, we'd really appreciate it if you head on over to youtube.com/trueformlife and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel, and we put more content there. So it really helps to get views and subscriptions. So if you could subscribe to our channel, we would really appreciate that. And check out some of our shows over there. Views and thumbs up and comments, those all help us in the rankings. So we'd really appreciate some help with that. A lot of times people ask us, how can you help? Well, that helps us out so much. Just viewing and thumbs up and comments. Other than that, we have, we can see you Friday morning. We'll be doing our live Q&A on Friday morning. We tried last week 8 a.m. instead of 7:30. Seemed like a lot more people could make it at 8 a.m. So we'll try that again this week, 8 a.m. and keep that consistent for a few weeks and see how it goes. If you have a topic for that show, we'd love to hear a topic suggestion. We always like to hear from you what you would like us to talk about. So if you do have a topic for the show this coming Friday, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. I do have to announce the winner of the draw. Drew, is now a good time?
That was a great time.
All right. So last week we did a draw for what was it? The Heal Yourself.
Oh yeah, that was Emily Francis' book.
The Body Heals Itself was the title of the book. The Body Heals Itself, and Ruby won that book. So we did a draw. Yay, Ruby! I don't think, was Ruby tuned in tonight? I'm not sure.
She was I'm not sure if she's still here. She did make a comment. Or she shared the show, actually.
Oh, awesome. Well, Ruby, if you're still in here, we will set you up with the Body Heals Itself. So thank you so much for tuning in, and congratulations on receiving your prize. If you need help purchasing CTP, or if you want more information about CTP, please let us know. Drew, maybe you can put a link up to more information about CTP. You can buy it online and we can ship to you. If you're local in the Olds area, we can also deliver to you. So if you need more information or need to grab yourself a bag of CTP to make wonderful, healthy baking creations. We would love to help you out with that. Before we let you go, Drew, did I miss anything?
No, I think we're good. I'm just going to show the screen real quick. I'm going to show you guys what the Exploring Mind and Body website looks like. So this is the Emotionally Heal Yourself Physically with Emily Francis. This is the book we gave to Ruby. This is the winner. And you can check out our show as a podcast. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, it's on Spotify now. So if you guys want to check out the show, we certainly appreciate that as well. So nationally syndicated across Canada. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Everything else, I put the links everywhere. Every time you mention, I put the links. We got all kinds of people that said congrats to Ruby. Tina, Sue, Chantel, Louise, Hilda said, great show, guys. Love you. Have a great evening, everyone. And we love you, too. Have a great evening, too, Mama. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thanks for tuning in.
That's it for me. We got almost at 6,000 hearts. So that's it's one of our biggest, most active nights for sure.
Oh, that's our timer. So I suppose you can stick around and watch us pull out the cookies here if you would like to. I think they are done. That was 12-minute timer, Drew?
Yep.
They are done. Nice. And you can always touch the tops here and check if they are done. They should be a little springy or they almost feel a little mushy. There I go with my words again. But because of the type of cookie they are and the flour we used and the coconut oil, they might feel a little bit mushy as opposed to what would a conventional cookie feel like?
Hard?
Harder? Cakeish? I don't know what the right word is. But they'll just feel a little bit different. You might think, oh darn, I don't think they're done. But once they cool down, they'll take their form and harden up a bit more.
You want to show that, or just want to show that final one again?
Show this one?
Yeah. So that's what they're going to look like. Team?
Yeah. So you don't want to pick them up right away out of the oven because they'll crumble and fall apart. You're going to want to let them cool on the pan for quite some time. Probably at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Let them cool and let them take their form and gel together, I suppose. I don't know what the right word is. But if you pick them up right now, they're going to crumble. So just make sure you give them their time to cool, and then you can remove them from the pan. If you have wider racks, like cooling racks, you could put them on there. And before you transfer them into a container, make sure they have been cooled for about an hour or so. They're really nice warm, too. They're nice and gooey, but of course, chocolate chips are gooey, and it's like pumpkin pie, you know?
Just want to mention I put a link there for our CTP group on Facebook.
Ooh,
so if you guys make them, post it on the group. We love that. Chantel does that quite a bit. Ruby, we love to keep that group active too. So if you get a chance, post your recipes or tag Dorothy, myself, or Trueform in the group so we can see more your pictures come up there.
The CTP group is awesome too. We recently just did a 7-day challenge in there, baking challenge, to help you fill your freezer with healthy treats or healthy baking, healthy snacks. So that's just an example of what we do in that group. It's a community kind of sharing group. It's not all CTP. We talk about lifestyle and meals as well, healthy meals and healthy snack ideas. It's just a supportive group to come in and ask questions and learn more about healthy living. So we do all kinds of different things in there. We've done smoothie contests, or smoothie challenge, I should say. We've done baking challenge as well. So if you're not a part of the group, please let us know because we'd like to add you to the group. Or you can request to be a member, and we will add you.
Ruby says, I won. Woohoo. Thank you.
You did win, Ruby. Congratulations. Thanks for taking the time to tune in.
I think we're good.
All right, we're going to say good night. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. We truly appreciate your support. Make sure that you get your PDF of this recipe, or the PDF of the 10 pumpkin recipes. We'll put the link in the comments. So we'll email that out. That will be emailed out to you. It has this recipe plus a ton more pumpkin recipes. Subscribe to the show and we will send this video to you. Have a great evening and hope to see you Friday morning for our Q&A. And if not, hope to see you back here next Tuesday for another Cooking with Dorothy. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye.
See you guys.